But I guess we'll just start with Andrew Wilson just tweeting they had nothing and never had anything done. And I didn't read the comments, and I probably won't look at the comments because even with relevant turned on, there's going to be loads of Candace cultists. And Candace, of course, is immediately took to X as well, saying, just seeing that our debate yesterday has eclipsed 3.1 million views in 18 hours. It's all she cares about is the specs and the status and the money. Truly amazing. Thank you to everyone who took the time to watch. This really was such a great win for those of us who have kept our heads down and studied this case from the very first filing, while being relentlessly attacked from people who, as Andrew Wilson so perfectly demonstrated, know literally nothing about it. We'll have much more to say on Monday, but wanted to just thank our audience for taking the time to watch. I'm sure you will have much more to say on Monday. You always do. Andrew replies, great win how? She admitted she had no evidence for anything over and over and over again, and that her entire case hinges on vibes and feelings. We have entered a post-truth world. Politics can't be evidence-free and feeling-based. But don't worry, we'll get into examples here. And yes, I'm going to bring up how Andrew couldn't list the 7 whatevers that they charged Tyler Robinson for. Because guess what? That's not what they were debating. You really got him, Candace. All your followers, that is the only thing they are clinging on to. Period. Because you gave no evidence. You brought absolutely no evidence. Breaking, Candace Owens demands a fact check, then accidentally fact checks herself with Tyler Robinson's own admission.
How are you able to infer off of blurry staircase images that that is Tyler Robinson?
Yeah, so in that particular case, what you do is you take that evidence, you combine it with other evidence. So it's not just that Tyler Robinson is seen in the staircase.
Why are you calling him Tyler Robinson in the staircase? That's what I want to get to.
Yeah, because, I mean, we'll just use this. If you don't agree that that's Tyler Robinson, then you would just have to humor me. I think it is, so I'm using the name.
But why do you think it is? Because you make everybody, you call them conspiracy theorists. That's literally what I'm trying to explain to you.
Okay. So if you're asking for my inference why I think it's Tyler Robinson, is because A, Tyler Robinson said in his text messages, you'll be able to see me on security footage at the campus. Said it in his own messages. On top of that, Twigs, yes, you can pull them up if you want to fact check that. He did say.
Yeah, I would. I'm sorry. I actually think I really did miss that. I'm not saying you're wrong. I don't remember.
Yeah, and if you really did miss that, that's like a very glaring hole in your research, in your hours, days, months of research. That would be a pretty big hole.
Remember him saying you're going to see.
Especially since you know this case better than anyone, Candace.
Me in
I'm paraphrasing,
Can
but
we
it was
pull that
close
up?
to it.
Yeah, I think
And
that's
by the
not
way,
right.
Twigs himself said that he had some
on the staircase.
that he had some maybe a tiny bit of doubt, but it sure looked like Tyler Robinson inside of this various surveillance footage that he saw.
So Lance, sorry,
hang on. So
and she will, throughout all the 3+ hours of this interview, tries to derail every bit of evidence and truth that Andrew speaks, but
there's multiple reasons why it is that I believe that that's Tyler Robinson, not just because of blurry footage.
Did you have a dream? Just kidding.
No, it's because I combined multitudes of evidences.
Okay, so let's address those multitude of evidences. The first one we're working on a fact check on because I do not ever remember him tweeting.
And then she's already fact checking the 2 pieces of evidence that he lists, but he goes on to list more throughout the debate, while Candace gives none.
Me in the stair. I mean, or
he didn't tweet it.
Texting that's me in the staircase. I think that I didn't
say that. I said I literally didn't. What I said is that he texted over, you'll be able to see me in footage at UVU. And I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he said.
Yeah. Could we get a fact check on that?
First, go to what Candace is asking about Skylar. I think you have it. You just text me if you want to pull it up. You said you have the text. If we can put that up on the screen. Thank you.
It was me. Look at the pictures from the surveillance footage. It was me. Okay. I literally said to you, it's not an oof. I said I didn't remember.
It is an oof. But because she can be even cockier than Andrew, of course she's going to get away with that. Candace Owens spent 10 minutes filibustering over Robinson parents claiming it wasn't their son. Candace gets wrecked when the charging documents prove her wrong again. Andrew checks Candace. Quote, why haven't the parents one time said this isn't their son? Very good point.
are we looking at here?
Robinson's mother explained that over the last year or so, I'm sorry.
Can you zoom in a
Is
little
this
bit?
the charging
I
doc?
can't see it. Robinson's
yes.
father reported that when his wife showed him the surveillance image of the suspected shooter in the news, he agreed that it looked like their son. He also believed that the rifle that police suspected the shooter used matched the rifle that was given to his son as a gift. As a result, Robinson's father contacted his son and asked him to send a photo of the rifle, which makes sense with the text messages. Robinson did not respond. However, Robinson's father spoke on the phone with Robinson. Robinson implied he planned to take his own life. Robinson's parents were able to convince him to meet at their home.
Yes. So this is proving my point. This is from the charging document, correct? Yeah. So what I'm saying to you is that 3 people got interviewed on that night. Mike Mitchell got interviewed, Amber Robinson got interviewed, and Matt Robinson got interviewed. Of the 3 of them, only one of them actually wrote a statement, which was referred to in this preliminary trial. He came in, I believe, in March, Mike Mitchell, and he wrote a statement, which I find to be very shady that they decided to bring.
But why aren't the parents just...
Oh, you find that to be very shady. That's good. And then that's what her fans then count as evidence.
A statement, which I find to be very shady that they
Got
decided
it,
to bring.
but why aren't the parents disputing that?
No. Well, first off,
That's the question
First
I've
off,
been
the
asking.
parents are not going to ever play in court, play to the cameras in court when they have a legal team that is going to be advising them not to speak to the court because your son could go to prison
But
forever.
they're playing to somebody else who's your source?
I'm not going to address that.
They're
'Cause
playing to
I don't-
someone
I-
else
I don't
who's your
think- I don't
source,
think
but
it's-
won't go publicly tell the media
yes.
this is not true?
Well, what I did not say to you that I just said.
She truthfully didn't know what to say to that. Watching this debate between Candace Owens and Andrew Wilson is like watching a man play chess against a pigeon. The pigeon flaps around, makes a lot of noise, knocks over pieces, completely confident in their performance. But to anyone that understands how chess is played, they look like an idiot. Dude, shut up and just say Israel's our greatest ally. Do they think about anything else? I don't think so. Oh man, what a good bunch of suckers Candace has found herself. Wow. They will do and believe anything she says. And then under his comments, speaking of that, this person says, I see Candace's bot army showed up in the comments. Not saying they're AI bots, people bots. Much worse. So true. And I also found this funny. This person says, where can you see this? And posts a screenshot of this guy's comment surrounded by human bot accounts. Zionist, Jew, Israel, Zionist. That's the only thing that matters in this world. Don't worry about economic policy, foreign policy. The only foreign policy is just not dealing with Israel. You can make deals with China, Russia, all the rest of the Middle East that chants death to the West, death to America. You can make deals with all of them, but not our historical ally. Andrew Wilson just shared a never-before-seen text from Charlie Kirk to his security team on September 9th, an opening statement.
On September 9th, Charlie's security team wrote to him, yes, law enforcement has been fully supportive and agreed to a security plan and posture. Tomorrow's event will be covered by both my team and the campus PD. If additional support is required, patrol units will be available. I have 11 on site. Charlie responded with this, okay, great. Remind them that they are there for one person's security only, because I'm somewhat worried the left is trying to kill me. That was a message sent September 9th.
And don't worry, I'm going to play what the counter argument to this is, because the Candace army is busting their asses covering this absolute witch. Candace Owens running ads during her debate with Andrew Wilson after requiring $300,000 to debate. This woman is absolutely shameless. I just want you to listen to the ads, like who she's receiving money from.
We get back if you'd like to.
Okay.
I think that's a good idea. Folks, we're going to take a quick ad break. We will be back in 3.5 minutes. Thank you.
All right, you guys, for nearly 2,000 years, Christians have lived continuously in a small village just outside of Jerusalem called Taipei. All right, you guys, do you feel like you're working harder than ever but still falling behind every month? Between grocery prices, bills, and credit card debt growing, it can feel impossible to get ahead. I also want to tell you guys about the Wellness Company, because by now you've probably heard that there is an explosive outbreak in the U.S. this summer.
And this is where, like, Candace just turned up her cunt level to the max, is because Andrew was also trying to play that game, being a bit cocky.
You said you had some new evidence at the beginning of the.
Oh yeah,
debate
we should
you had
show that
something
text
new.
message that you
Did
read
you
just
wanna
because
share
I
that?
think that's important for the public. You shared it out of context.
I'll do it on my show. I'll share the text
So you're going to
message.
read it on my show but not show it?
Correct.
Okay.
So I'll show it on my show, but that's what I'll do. I'll show it on my
Can
show.
I ask why?
Well, because I want to drip out the evidence. You know, that's got to drip out that evidence, keep people coming back for the show, right?
I don't know if snark serves you so well.
It really does, because it gets on your nerves like I've never fucking seen. I'm just glad she agreed to this debate for that reason alone. The things that Andrew said to her of a face.
I'm just saying, like, yeah, I'll release it there. Yeah, that's my intention.
And this face, that face when, quote, I know what you're up to, but I don't like it, and I can't object because it's what I did first. All right, and then this absolute sucker. I don't even know any other word to
Wanna do
describe
closing?
him. He's such a fucking queer, Ian Carroll. I'm so glad that I don't see his shit on my page ever, because you got to be with a submarine so deep up Candace's ass to be following this fucking pussy. He says, Andrew Wilson's finest moment will be remembered as the time that a woman made him look like a retard 7 times over in front of millions of people. Yeah, because, you know, just shitting on women. They can't... Same thing with Nick Fuentes. They can't hide their hatred for women. And again, the comments here, the comments on this one are good because, again, no one should take Ian Carroll seriously, but 60,000 likes. Human bots and real, actual like bots, but whatever. That's just going off of feelings and vibes, and that's all we need nowadays. So I feel like your post is pretty botted. They have 2 clips that they think, gotcha, that are gotcha moments, and I'll show them. Don't worry.
All 7.
And I
Can you
I
name
think
all 7?
I can.
Then do it.
The first charge is aggravated murder because that's what carries
Okay.
a death sentence
So
in the
murder.
state of Utah. No,
Next.
that's not. That is literally not murder.
Okay.
This
Okay. Aggravated murder is not murder. Okay. Why is it called aggravated murder? And then this is, I feel like I saved this post like 3 separate times because it's just so good, by the Babylon Bee, saying, Candace, if you don't count the video, DNA, murder weapon, ballistics, motive, text messages, and multiple confessions, there is 0 evidence against Tyler Robinson. That's why it's a manipulation tactic. Like with the shoes thing, she was trying to pick that out as like, oh, really? That's how you know it's Tyler Robinson? No, it's the shoes on top of the rest of the evidence, aka building a case, you know? Not just this theory, then that theory, and the French, and the Egyptians, and the Israelis, and time travel. No, it's actually like all coherent and all points to the same person. These are all replies under Ian Carroll. This person says, hey God, is there any scenario under the sun in which Ian would say Candace lost the debate? No. Shocker. Moving on. And that's about it. Like I said, he is a prime butt buddy candidate for Candace. Candace loves her white men. I don't know what it is. She if it's some sort of like racist power kink that she loves being a black woman, like just being a literal queen over these white dudes. She lost Nick Fuentes, which I'm about to show right here, but they were I told you, they were literally like on each other's laps in that interview. It's just weird. And she couldn't have Charlie Kirk, so she settled for the Prince of the Cabal. Nick Fuentes says that debate was basically unwatchable. But what is truly striking is how Charlie Kirk has become a background character in the endless soap opera about his own murder. The story now revolves around the raging narcissist Candace Owens and the mass psychosis she has induced. And Candace Owens replies, in other words, you publicly said you were backing Andrew Wilson and are now coping with the fact that he lost. Badly. Laughing emoji, laughing emoji. I'd say it's for certainly a win that you pocketed another $300,000 plus AdSense money before Tyler Robinson is for certainly going to be found guilty and hopefully executed. A fitting end to the most successful political grift of all time besides Trump. Okay, I was just about... And then she replies, just admit you picked the wrong horse. Don't spike your ball and go home, Nick. No, he absolutely fried the shit out of her. I can't even lie. Spike your ball and go home. It's take your ball and go home. You have to be trolling at this point. Oh my gosh. Someone under that asked Grok, did I miss it? Who won? And Grok says, Andrew presented stronger concrete evidence, DNA matches with high likelihoods, text confessions, surveillance timelines, weapon links, that advanced past the preliminary hearing. Candace effectively highlighted gaps like blurry IDs, mixed DNA, no clear act video, and raised anomalies, but her positive case for an overwhelming patsy setup relied more on questions and unconfirmed claims, including the conceded lack of direct Israel proof, than facts that withstood scrutiny. On pure facts presented versus debunked, edge to Andrew. Style and audience priors split the rest. No decisive winner. So no decisive winner because Grok didn't actually analyze and fact check everything in the interview. He's really going off of what people are saying on X. And what Grok can confirm is that the ones representing Andrew's side are showing concrete evidence, such as DNA matches with high likelihoods, text confessions, surveillance timelines, and weapon links. While the Candace side, Grok doesn't outright say it, but suspicions, feelings, vibes, and anomalies, right? All feelings that they feel is an anomaly. They feel it's strange. Don't you think that's shady? Sure, you can think it's shady. Do you have anything to follow that up? Dare I say, positive evidence? Candace Owens, when the word evidence is said within 50 feet of her, I don't know what this original picture is, but I hope we start using this anytime she tweets now. I don't even know why I saved this one. And then Nick Fuentes fans who also hate women. And not that this is necessarily a hating woman statement, but he says, she did what women do best, made it all about herself. Which is the truth. She literally did make the whole situation about herself now. It's amazing to me how many white nationalists fall for anything Candace says in a sassy black woman voice. That's another point that I'd like to make, is that's all she has. That is literally her whole character. That's it. And that's why she's successful. She's not successful for being some groundbreaking journalist that's constantly breaking stories. No, she's a conspiracy fantasy salesman. She just profits off of selling her fans who hate Israel, hate Trump, hate men, hate conservatives, giving them an outlet to say, oh yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's what's going on. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, of course Trump would be behind it. Of course Bibi Netanyahu would be behind it. Of course the Jews are behind it. Another comment under Nick Fuentes saying, this is so accurate. Charlie was murdered in front of the world, and that psychotic has made it about herself. Her cult is effing retarded.
B sent $20. My favorite part of the interview is when she walked in on her knuckles holding a banana and started swinging from vine to vine.
All right, relax.
B.
Oh, okay. I'm not gonna let that genuinely made me crack up when I was just scrolling through these comments and somebody posted that video because I've not seen that clip before. Okay, now these are people replying to Candace. This person says, oh, sweetie, you got dog walked in your own home. You have no conception of the law. You hide behind, I think, as if your own remarks aren't caught in 4K on your own show. You backed off your own claims and offered zero evidence of your patsy contention. Sit the rest of this out. The adults got it from here. Love it. Absolutely love it, because that's exactly the tone that Candace Owens speaks with. This woman replies, saying, seriously? Be grateful your cult doesn't care about your zero evidence bullshit. And then Puss Boy, I will read what Puss Boy says here. Quote, Candace had nothing is the line they're deciding on, since it's all they've got. Yeah, it's all we've got. Clearly, Candace has an entire year of content so compelling that they're losing their minds over how many people find her claims, evidence, and discussion worth listening to. That's why Andrew was there making a fool of himself today. It was Andrew's job to debunk it. I know, it was only Andrew's job to answer the questions, and it was only Candace's job to ask the questions. Only Candace was allowed to ask questions, and only Andrew was responsible for answering them. Answering any questions, all questions. Instead, it became quite clear that Andrew doesn't know much about the case or Candace's claims or the evidence or even the charges in the case. There it is. I know. That's really the only thing that you can say there. But let's just go with Candace has nothing. Great. Then leave her alone and go back to your life. Because nothing obviously wouldn't be threatening to anyone and certainly wouldn't need a multi-million-dollar propaganda campaign to discredit it. Holy shit. He is genuinely Candace's #1 little trooper. He's the general of the dipshit army. Because when I say it out loud, when you want someone to leave someone else alone, it's because like they're getting bullied or they can't take the hate that they're receiving online. Quoting him saying, she had nothing, now go back to your life. No, Ian, now we call your bullshit out. Where's your evidence Israel did it? Oh, that's right. You've been full of shit since September 10th. Now you're begging us to leave you alone? I will leave them alone if they go the fuck away. Take your 300 or 500,000 and get the fuck off the internet. Don't ever show your face in public again. You with that, all the money that you've made off this grift, you can go buy a property in Russia or Qatar or wherever you're also receiving money from and just live off the grid. But you need this attention, right? You need people worshiping you as the prophet and queen that they say you are, right? Leave Candace alone. All right. Andrew Wilson just tweets saying, nap was nice. Self-evaluation, 7 out of 10. Would have been 7.5, but I see the point. There was minor brain fart at the end. Andrew Wilson was the only one actually answering questions. Of course, throughout the 3+ hour long interview, Candace gets him on that. Candace Owens fans were just looking for their gotcha moment so that they can clip it and post it and jerk each other off. Anyway, he says Owens, 3 out of 10, which that is way too generous, Andrew. Owens, 3 out of 10. No evidence-based positions at all on alternative claims. No evidence at all Robinson is a federal patsy, mostly feelings and intuition. And I think he says mostly because the only evidence she actually does give is also evidence that she claims to be hearsay, which she is just wrong about. She's like somehow wrong to the second power. This person replied, you didn't just win, you objectively won because where you did bad was irrelevant to the claim stated, but it happens. However, where Candace did bad was critical to the claim stated by her. Nice attempt to gaslight. Everyone knows what they saw. Andrew lost. Right. Well, this guy literally puts it right on the money. The gotcha moment that they're clipping Andrew for. Okay, if that's his worst moment, they are completely ignoring the losing the debate part of Candace Owens being there. But of course, this clip that automatically equals Andrew lost in their minds because Andrew never could have won in their mind. And then the Babylon BB because they literally cannot come up with their own shit anymore. The left used to be the comedians. They used to be funny. But now they can't. They have to steal everything that we do now. Everything because we're the funny ones now. The Babylon Bee is so funny because they get so much of their comedy. Comedy is only truly funny when it is rooted in truth. Again, it can be like a funhouse mirror where it's a distorted, exaggerated reflection, but it's still a reflection of reality. That's why this is funny and the Babylon BB is not. This, I wasn't even going to save this because I'm just so disappointed in Alex Jones. I really can't believe that he's a part of the people that's actually trying to say that Candace won that. Here's some people replying under him saying, how did she provide overwhelming evidence that Tyler Robinson is a patsy? Her entire argument was vibes, feelings, and opinions. And we do keep reiterating that point because we can't say anything else. That's literally all she did. She provided no evidence to back up her claims. If you call that winning, I don't know what to tell you. Here's another liberal. Smoke Boy said he believes there's a 75 to 85% chance Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk. Class, that's the definition of reasonable doubt. The debate ended before it began. 75 to 85% is by definition not overwhelming. Well, if that's not, then I don't know what is. But Gerald Morgan, who was there, says, Barron, he defined what he meant by overwhelming right at the start. Did you watch? And I remembered where he said with Candace, he said that he wants to make sure that we have the same definition for overwhelming evidence. And they clearly did not, but they moved on with the debate anyway. And this Magat, maybe a little bit too passionate. You are such a effing retard. Have we seen all of the evidence? How can you be 100% until you see 100% of the evidence? Effing idiot. He does have a point. And this person says the same thing. He says, it's a pretrial, bud. You know this. Now, let's see from Jimmy Dore what he has to say, this contradiction. Let's see this contradiction. This is it, by the way. This is proof alone that Andrew is a TPUSA shill and undercover operative that's just looking to discredit Candace Owens and whatever else.
Charlie responded with this. Okay, great. Remind them that they are there for one person's security only, because I'm somewhat worried the left is trying to kill me.
I'm somewhat worried the left is trying to kill me.
That was a message sent September 9th.
But he was not messaging people the day before saying, I'm going to be murdered. They're coming after me. Someone's going to kill me. He didn't say that.
So already he cuts off whatever Erica was saying before, the context of what Erica was saying, who they is. But that's not the same. That is not the same statement. And I'll bet any money she's probably referring to the Israel Jew conspiracies, that he wasn't referring to, because that is literally what the Candace Owens cult is trying to claim, that he was literally secretly evading the Zionists. So this is your evidence, Jimmy? Really? This person comments saying, what does this prove? You all just like gotchas without entertaining any real evidence whether Tyler Robinson did it or not. Thank you. That's exactly it. Erica said Charlie wasn't messaging people the day before that someone was going to kill him. Andrew said his text with Charlie was from September and was a general concern the unhinged left may try to kill him. Jimmy, WTF are you doing? My thoughts, if I can somehow put them into words for once, about the Candace Owens, Andrew Wilson debate is I'm not surprised. Neither Candace Owens or Andrew Wilson left with either of their minds changed. And I'd assume that was probably the assumption of 99% of the people watching. But for different reasons. And of course, you watching this video for my opinion. And my opinion is the reason why Andrew's mind wasn't changed is because there was no real positive evidence revealed. None. Candace Owens isn't an investigator. She doesn't have access to the sources and materials that she would need to be able to investigate. Really? Do you watch her show? Because she carries herself like she does, and she says with her words that her sources are with the government, with the federal government, with federal investigations. It's the fact that she makes all of her assumptions and claims, and she slandered the president, she slandered the country of Israel, she slandered Netanyahu and his associates, she slandered the widow of Charlie, she slandered Charlie's business and his associates and employees and security, she slandered the French government, she slandered everyone. When does it stop? All right, but that's my thoughts. I will see you guys in the next one.